Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, and how we're going to fix both of those things together. The content that I'm going to show you right now is something that needs to go mainstream, so please send this one out. We have a bill that's been put forward which goes directly and targets the money that's going into the gun violence prevention ecosystem, the scheme, the boondoggle, whatever words you want to call it. There's a bill put forward by Andrew Clyde from Georgia that is looking to prevent Medicare dollars from going towards gun violence prevention or gun control causes. Guys, this is it. This is the root cause. It's about money, control, and power. Those three things are never good to give anybody in DC. We're going to walk through everything right now. This is a big one, and you guys need to know about it, so make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on as we continue to bring more of these things to light and get them magnified, because it needs to happen. So if you're on this freedom train, grab yourself a seat. We're going straight to Freedom Station. All right, I'm going to say a quick word from our sponsor, Aura, and then we're going to hit this. Today, I want to talk to you through our sponsor, Aura. Now, this is an identity theft solution, and I want to tell you an example that happened to me personally and my wife. Now, she bought gas like every one of us does on a daily basis and used her credit card. That number was skimmed and stolen, and we would not have known that some criminal shyster on the internet was using our individual number and money to buy incremental purchases at random places across the United States very subtly and sneakily. And that's where Aura comes in. There's a link in the description box below to get your free 2-week trial, but let me show you some of the benefits they're offering. They offer Data Broker Opt-out. It will help remove your personal information from data brokers, and Aura will make sure that they cannot sell your information to identity thieves. It's got identity theft protection and monitors your credit file and your social security number. There's financial fraud protection. You can get alerted in minutes when your credit file has been compromised. I'm not leaving my family and those that I love vulnerable to these types of thieves, so neither do you. Go to aura.com/Langley. There's a link in the description box below, and start your free 2-week trial to get in front of these shysters, and that's enough time to figure out if there's something going on with your profile. Link right in. All right, guys, this is one of these things. This is the underlying fight. This is the background. This is where you hit the control, where you hit the funding, where you hit all of the underlying auspices of the gun control movement, because these are the subtle ones. These are the ones that affect change through, of course, money redistribution, control, and to really gun control. That's really effectively what we're doing. We're doing money redistribution, that's a favor of the left, and gun control. Watch this. Let me show you the entire thing, because the Republicans are onto it. Now, I don't know if it's going to pass, but I can tell you they're at least over the target. Check this out. And let me know if I land this plane, because I'm out of my element, obviously, in the different studio. Republican Congressman Andrew Clyde of Georgia unveiled the Medicaid Funds Integrity Act to restrict Medicaid funds for gun violence prevention programs. Good. Now, these gun violence restriction programs through Medicaid would go to the thing that we've been covering for the last 3 years. The left's redefinition, again, of gun violence as a health epidemic issue. Because the second that you do that, you unlock all the money from Medicare. It's about funding and control. If you can talk to a Democrat-controlled area of the world, and you can say, listen, we're going to give you gun control, and we're going to give you redistribution of wealth through the taxes and the healthcare system, oh, goody glory day. Watch. Guys, this is what we need to rip out of the root. All right. Medicaid funding allocated for gun violence prevention programs may encounter significant challenges as political divisions emerge over its use because they politicize the healthcare system. Shocker among shocks. This controversy arises as some states have begun utilizing Medicaid for community-based interventions following President Biden's executive orders issued last September. These measures aim to support gun control initiatives by integrating public health strategies. When I show you what this is being used for, you're going to see the entire picture. This is a redistribution scheme that is benefiting gun control at the same time. There's obvious reasons that the left loves this, particularly in big cities. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services announced states could use Medicaid funds for counseling on firearm safety. 7 states, including California, Connecticut, and New York, have already enacted legislation allowing Medicaid reimbursement for such services. It's financial injection into the states at a federal cost. Guys, this is supposed to be off limits, but Biden made it perfectly fine through executive orders, and now the states are having a fundapalooza at the behest of the governors. Guys, this is the root cause. It's about money and control. Both the things are bad. All right. Meanwhile, opposition mounts. Congressman Andrew Clyde from Georgia introduced the Medicaid Funds Integrity Act, seeking to block Medicaid funds from financing gun violence prevention programs. Good. Representative Clyde criticized such efforts, stating, quote, as responsible stewards of taxpayer dollars and relentless defenders of the Constitution, Congress must step in this flagrant misuse of federal funds directed at infringing law-abiding Americans' Second Amendment liberties. Yes. This is the whole point. It's hide the ball. It's a shell game. That's why they do this. This is why the gun control lobby was so adamant and excited when Biden signed these executive orders, because it unlocks federal funds for their goodie programs. Let's keep going. Gun rights advocates echo his concerns. Aiden Johnson, Director of Federal Affairs for Gun Owners of America, argued, programs like this are bound to be weaponized by anti-gun administrations, which they were, by the way, which is exactly what we saw over the last 4 years. Gun control has nothing to do with health care, and that is a very pivotal point of this argument. It's redefining existing terms. They've done this all the time. You can even go something as macro as, hey, what's a male and what's a female? Well, let's redefine that too. Is gun violence a healthcare issue? Let's redefine that, because if we redefine it, we can unlock federal funds through the healthcare system, which is very, very well funded, and then we can get gun control funded through those programs, and governors and states get the injection of federal capital by misallocation of funds, and we get the goodies of control. Guys, that's what this is all about. You can always chase it right back to the money and the control. But let's continue. Let me show you this, because this is where it goes. Violence, including firearm violence, is not just a criminal justice issue, but also a pressing public health crisis. See, that's what changed 3.5 years ago when they started going down this road, for this very reason. Stable Medicaid funding would not only expand the reach of these programs, but also affirm our collective responsibility to address violence as a public health challenge, says the guy who's pushing for this on state levels. This is about hospitals getting more money. Does that sound familiar? Does that remind you of anything? It rhymes with schmovid. When you have this type of money and this type of, what's the best way to say that? This type of prerequisites and all this ability to reclassify something to get more money, kind of like if you put someone on a ventilator, you automatically get $45,000. All of a sudden, magically, you're going to have more ventilators. It's weird. They do this exact same thing. It's all about playing the system. But let me show you. This is literally it. And you tell me if this factors into gun violence prevention or this sounds more like a redistribution of wealth scheme. Check this out. These evidence-informed programs not only address immediate physical and mental health needs, but also target the underlying structural factors contributing to violence, such as housing instability. That means you're going to provide rent so people aren't stressed by, housing costs. Unemployment, we're going to pay people to have jobs. Lack of educational opportunities when education is free in this country until you get to higher education like college, and in most cases a lot of it is subsidized. And food insecurity, so we're going to give people money for food now, in partnership with community organizations. And just so happens that all those community organizations are lined up with the gun control and the state, all about the infrastructure that they're building. Guys, what we're looking at right here is quite literally a redistributionist scheme with the added benefit of gun control, which is why it's embedded in all these left states. This bill needs to go through. This executive order needs to be ripped out, all of it, by the root, because that is what we are dealing with here. We are dealing with a redistributionist scheme, and then we're also dealing with a gun control married together into our healthcare system, which is a quagmire. That's what I've got for you guys. Let me know if I landed this plane, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.